So we're here with Sabina, the lady who rescued Hope and found her a rescue up in Urington. And so just tell us the story a little bit.
Well, she was, we believe, Bella, come here. Sit. Hope was abandoned in our neighborhood, and she was living in 2 abandoned houses, and we just saw her on the street, and some of the neighbors were giving her food and water, and we tried a lot to get her to give her food and water because it was hot, and she was very aloof. She didn't want to be around people at all, and so in the meantime, some other neighbors had called animal control. They came out 3 times to try to get her, and she got away from animal control, and it just became a project that we had to save her. And we had the frustrating experience of having many rescues either not be able to help us or just not interested in helping. Animal control even gave up on getting her, and it was getting hotter and hotter. And I did have one lady that was from a rescue, who was 7 months pregnant, actually come and try to help me on 2 occasions to get her. And we found her one time in a field at Chaparral High School, and even at that point tried, the lady from the rescue that tried to help us was a vet tech, and so she even offered to try to put some mild tranquilizer in the food so that we could get a loop over her. And the dog had never gone to anybody before. She sat out in the middle of the field, and the dog actually came to her, and for the first time she had any human contact in the 6 weeks that I saw her out there. And she ate the little sausage that had the tranquilizer in it, but we waited the hour for it to work, and it never did work, so we actually chased her for another 5 hours after that to make sure that she was safe. And at that point, it was July 3rd, and it was very hot, and the lady that was helping me was pregnant, and we just said we would try again in the morning. And so it was frustrating and heartbreaking, and many attempts that were failed, and just we didn't think we'd ever get her. And July 3rd, at about 10 o'clock at night, I had put out posters for anybody who could try to help me get her, and my phone rang, and it was a lady that called and said, "We have your dog," and I live at Flamingo and, Desert Inn and Sand Hill, and this lady said she was up at Flamingo and Pearl, which is quite a distance away on a very busy street on Flamingo. And I said, "I don't think that's my dog," because she would never go that far. And she said, "No, I went back to Smith's and got your poster. I'm sure it's your dog." She says, "Come over here and get her." When I went over there, the lady told me that they were in their house watching TV with the front door open. The lady, by miracle, happens to train wild animals, exotic animals, lions and tigers, and her dog helps her. Her dog went out into the street and got Hope and brought her into the house, right into the house where everybody was sitting. The husband got up on the chair and started screaming, "Oh my God, there's a pit bull in the house," with no collar, no leash, and everybody was kind of scared, and the dog just sat right in the middle of the room. There was 4 children, ages maybe 8 through 12, that pet her, that put a leash right over the top of her head, and I went up to get her. The dog had been terrified of my car and myself for so long, with me following her to see where she's going to make sure she was okay, that the dog would only ever run from me and my car. And when they brought the dog out to me, I bent down to her, and I honest to God, could not believe it. It was a miracle that she was there. And I said, "Hope, it's so nice to meet you." And I bent down, and that dog kissed my face like there was no tomorrow. And I opened my car door, and I said, "You ready to go?" And they handed me the leash, and she jumped right in the car that she was so afraid of for 6 weeks. And I took her home. I have 3 dogs of my own that were not receptive to having a new member in the pack, and she really, in all fairness, was not introduced the right way. You should introduce them, to my knowledge, on neutral ground and then bring one home. But due to the circumstances, she had come home just right into the house. So since my old female was not going to be receptive to her, all I could do was basically stay outside with her. So that night she actually slept in the house, and then in the morning my old female was really unhappy, and they started a fight. So I took the pit bull outside, Hope, and I stayed outside with her all day on July the 4th, and then I knew we were going to take her to the rescue in Urington on the 5th. So the only thing I could do was stay outside and sleep outside with her on the 4th of July, and I just kind of sang to her while the fireworks were going off, and she would bury her head underneath a blanket, and my husband stayed inside with our 3. And on the 5th, we drove to Tonopah, where the rescue met us halfway, and she's now happily living in Tonopah in a no-kill, in Urington in a no-kill rescue, and they're taking good care of her and rehabilitating her, and she'll be up for adoption soon. And that's it.
Yay!
Yay! So it turned out to be a really happy ending. I might say that it was one of the most emotional experiences of my life, mainly because there is not a rescue that will take a pit bull, no-kill. And I'm talking about California, Arizona, Utah, Washington State. We tried everywhere. We tried all of Nevada. I could not find any place that would take her. My sister lives in Reno and actually started trying the outlying areas, the farm areas, and that's how we were able to locate this one rescue that did take her. So that's how she ended up there, and it was just the whole entire story was one miracle after another, an absolute miracle. That's it.